Welcome, dear friends, to a tranquil journey through the enchanting world of Pokémon, a universe that began as a simple game about capturing creatures and has since blossomed into a timeless phenomenon that has touched the hearts of millions. Tonight, we'll softly explore the origins of Pokémon, the cherished creatures that became beloved companions, and the stories behind the games, anime, and characters that have captured our imaginations for decades. As we drift together through this peaceful exploration, let the gentle rhythm of each fact guide you deeper into calm and allow the world of Pokemon to wrap you in its comforting embrace. Now take a moment to settle into your space, soften your breath, and let the weight of the day melt away. Feel the warmth of your blanket, the quiet rhythm of your heartbeat, and the stillness of the night as it unfolds around you. With each breath, allow your body to relax a little more, releasing any tension and settling into a gentle, soothing peace. And if you enjoy drifting through stories like this, you're welcome to subscribe and softly share where you're listening from tonight. Now, with your body and mind settled, let's begin this peaceful exploration of Pokemon. Fact 1. In 1996, Pokemon was born in Japan, created by Satoshi Tajiri and Ken Sugimori. The idea came from Tajiri's childhood fascination with collecting creatures and his love for nature. Inspired by the Game Boy's capabilities, they envisioned a world where players could capture and trade creatures. The first game, Pokemon Red and Green, introduced the concept of catching 'em all in a way that had never been done before. Little did they know, this simple idea would evolve into a global phenomenon, touching generations of players and shaping an entire cultural movement. Fact 2. The name Pokemon comes from the Japanese words pocket and monsters, referring to the tiny creatures players could carry around in their pockets. Over the years, the term has become synonymous with the series itself, representing not just the creatures, but the games, shows, and overall franchise. Pokemon's original charm lay in its simplicity, a pocket sized world brimming with adventure, where each Pokemon had its own unique traits, making them feel like real companions. And so, the journey began, as millions of players would soon embark on their own quests to catch, train, and bond with Pokemon. Fact 3. The first Pokemon ever designed was Raiden, a powerful rock-type creature. Raiden's design was actually one of the earliest concepts for the franchise, helping to establish the look and feel of Pokemon. As a strong, imposing figure with its tusks and body of stone, Raiden became a symbol of the strength and diversity that would define the series. Over time, Raiden's character evolved, and its presence in the game world grew, laying the foundation for many of the beloved creatures that followed in its footsteps. Fact 4. One of the most iconic Pokemon, Pikachu, was not initially the face of the franchise. Pikachu, a yellow electric mouse-like creature, wasn't intended to be the main mascot. However, its cheerful and approachable design quickly won the hearts of players, and it soon became the face of Pokémon, appearing in almost every game, show, and merchandise item. Pikachu's popularity grew exponentially, and it became more than just a character in the game. It became the heart of the Pokémon universe, symbolizing the joy and wonder of the franchise. Fact 5. The Pokemon universe has always been rich with inspiration drawn from real-world animals, plants, and mythology. Take Bulbasaur, for example, a blend of a frog and a plant. Its design combines elements of both flora and fauna. The early Pokemon designs were influenced by nature, with each creature representing something familiar yet fantastical. This blend of the natural and the imaginary allowed players to feel connected to the creatures while also being swept away into a world of whimsy and adventure. Fact 6: Pokemon's battles are based on the idea of strategy, where each creature has strengths and weaknesses. The concept of type based combat, such as fire versus water or electric versus flying, was carefully crafted to create a balanced system where players must think critically about their moves. This strategic layer helped elevate the gameplay, making each battle a thoughtful decision rather than just a simple contest of strength. It mirrored the complexities of real life decision making, adding a layer of depth to what seemed like a simple game of catch. Fact 7: The Pokemon anime series premiered in 1997 and was an instant hit. It followed the adventures of Ash Ketchum and his ever enthusiastic companion, Pikachu, as they journeyed through various regions in pursuit of becoming Pokemon masters. The series introduced the concept of friendship and teamwork, where bonds between trainers and Pokemon were central to the narrative. This theme resonated deeply with viewers, emphasizing the importance of loyalty, perseverance, and kindness in overcoming challenges, both in the Pokemon world and in real life. Fact 8: In the world of Pokemon, there are more than 800 different species of Pokemon, each with its own unique abilities, designs, and personalities. From the fiery charm of Charizard to the graceful flight of Articuno, each Pokemon carries its own story, making the world of Pokemon diverse and endlessly fascinating. The sheer variety in Pokemon species means there is always something new to discover, creating a world that feels expansive and alive with possibility. Whether it's a tiny Caterpie or a majestic legendary Pokemon, there's a creature for every player to connect with. Fact 9: The first Pokemon games, Red and Green, were released in Japan in 1996. These early games allowed players to trade Pokemon between two devices, a revolutionary concept. At the time, players could connect their Game Boys using a link cable, exchanging Pokemon and battling against one another. This mechanic of trading and battling became one of the core pillars of Pokemon's appeal, encouraging social interaction and creating a sense of community. It fostered friendships, competition, and a shared love for the franchise that continues to this day. Fact 10: Pokemon's influence extends far beyond video games. From the trading card game to an animated television series, the franchise has built an entire world of interconnected media. The Pokemon trading card game, introduced in 1996, became an instant success, allowing fans to collect and battle with their favorite creatures in a different way. The cards themselves became a cultural phenomenon, with rare cards reaching remarkable values. The interconnectedness of these various forms of media created a vast, ever expanding Pokemon universe that could be experienced in multiple ways. Fact 11: The concept of Pokemon evolutions was inspired by the process of metamorphosis in nature. Just as a caterpillar transforms into a butterfly, many Pokemon undergo dramatic changes as they grow. This idea of evolution added a layer of depth to the games, allowing players to witness their creatures' growth and development. It became a key part of the Pokemon journey, as trainers not only caught Pokemon, but also nurtured them, guiding them through the stages of evolution. This concept tapped into a universal experience of change and transformation, making it even more relatable for players. Fact 12. Legendary Pokemon hold a special place in the franchise, representing unique and powerful creatures that shape the world around them. These rare and often mythical beings are tied to the lore of the Pokemon universe, with each one possessing an extraordinary power or significance. From Mewtwo's creation in a lab to the elemental power of Lugia, legendary Pokemon embody the mystical and awe inspiring elements of the series. Their stories often explore themes of creation, destruction, and the balance of nature, making them not just rare creatures, but symbols of larger forces at play in the Pokemon world. Fact 13. The Pokemon world features a wide variety of habitats, from lush forests to arid deserts, icy mountains to deep seas. Each environment is home to different species of Pokemon, reflecting the diversity of life on Earth. These settings create a sense of immersion, allowing players to explore a world brimming with natural beauty and hidden wonders. Whether traversing through the vibrant Viridian Forest or swimming in the deep blue waters of the Hoenn region, every part of the Pokemon world feels alive, full of discovery and adventure waiting around every corner. Fact 14. Ash's Pikachu is one of the most iconic Pokemon in the world, yet Pikachu wasn't always intended to be the main character. Initially, Pikachu was just another Pokemon among many in this game. However, its distinct design, featuring large, expressive eyes and a friendly demeanor, made it stand out. Over time, Pikachu became more than just a character. It became a symbol of friendship, loyalty, and adventure. Pikachu's bond with Ash encapsulates the central theme of the series, the connection between Pokemon and their trainers, which is the heart of every Pokemon story. Fact 15. The Pokemon world includes various regions, each with its own distinct culture and geography. These regions are inspired by real world locations, with Kanto resembling the Japanese Kanto region, Johto inspired by Kyoto, and Unova based on New York City. These inspirations help bring the Pokemon world to life, grounding it in familiar yet fantastical settings. Each region introduces new Pokemon, landmarks, and adventures, giving players a sense of traveling to different parts of the world while always feeling connected to the familiar charm and magic of the Pokemon universe. Fact 16. The Pokemon anime has become a cultural staple, with over 1,000 episodes aired across multiple seasons. Its storytelling is deeply rooted in themes of friendship, self discovery, and overcoming challenges. As Ash journeys through different regions with his Pokemon, he faces trials that test his resolve and character. Along the way, he learns important life lessons, such as the value of perseverance, the power of teamwork, and the importance of empathy. These lessons resonate deeply with viewers, making the Pokemon anime not just a show about creatures, but a journey of personal growth and understanding. Fact 17. Pokemon's in game trading system was revolutionary for its time. It allowed players to exchange Pokemon with others, fostering a sense of community and connection. This feature made the Pokemon world feel alive, as players could share their adventures and Pokemon with one another. It was one of the first games to integrate a social aspect, encouraging cooperation and collaboration. The link cable, used to connect Game Boy systems, became a symbol of the shared experience of Pokemon, as trainers worked together to complete their Pokedex and discover new creatures. Fact 18. The Pokemon franchise has inspired countless spin offs, from the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games to the popular Pokemon Go mobile app. Pokemon Go brought the franchise into the real world, allowing players to catch Pokemon in their local neighborhoods using augmented reality. The app's success highlighted Pokemon's lasting appeal, connecting players of all ages and backgrounds in a shared experience. It also introduced a new generation to the magic of Pokemon, blending nostalgia with innovation and reaffirming the franchise's ability to evolve and adapt to new technologies. Fact 19. The design of Pokemon is heavily influenced by mythology and folklore. Many Pokemon are inspired by creatures from various cultures, such as Gyarados, which is based on the Chinese myth of a carp transforming into a dragon. The series draws upon a rich tapestry of myths, legends, and even astrology, creating creatures that are not only fantastical, but also steeped in meaning. This blend of real world mythology with imaginative designs gives Pokemon a sense of depth and mystery, allowing players to explore new and familiar stories through their favorite creatures. Fact 20. The concept of catching them all is central to Pokemon's appeal. It taps into the universal desire to collect, discover, and complete something. As players venture through the games, they are encouraged to explore new regions, find rare Pokemon, and challenge themselves to complete their Pokédex. This goal driven aspect of the game fosters a sense of accomplishment and satisfaction. Pokemon's collection mechanics are both relaxing and rewarding, offering a soothing, methodical pace that allows players to immerse themselves in a world of gentle discovery and achievement. Fact 21. The world of Pokemon is filled with a sense of wonder and magic, largely due to its emphasis on the unknown. Many Pokemon are shrouded in mystery, with only whispers of their existence spread across the regions. Legendary Pokemon, such as Mew, were once considered myths, their stories passed down through generations. These mysterious creatures spark curiosity and awe in both trainers and players alike, making every discovery feel like an exploration of uncharted territory, as if uncovering something ancient and forgotten, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to seek it out. Fact 22. Pokemon have been known to represent many aspects of nature, including elements, animals, and even the forces of the universe. Some Pokemon are inspired by the weather, like the legendary Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, whose powers are tied to the elements of ice, lightning, and fire. These elemental connections give each Pokemon a sense of belonging to the natural world, while also elevating them to a near mythical status. Their presence in the Pokemon universe helps players feel grounded in nature, even as they encounter fantastical creatures beyond their imagination. Fact 23. The evolution of Pokemon wasn't just a gameplay mechanic, but also a narrative tool that mirrored the themes of personal growth and change. As Pokemon evolve, they often gain new abilities and become stronger, symbolizing the journey of maturation. This process reflects the growth of the player themselves, as they too learn from their experiences and become more adept in their journey. The deep symbolism behind Pokemon evolution makes it feel more than just a transformation. It becomes an allegory for the journey of self improvement, resilience, and the passage of time. Fact 24. Each Pokemon region is home to unique creatures that reflect the local culture and geography. For example, the Hoenn region is inspired by the southern part of Japan, with a heavy focus on water and tropical climates. Pokemon in this region often have aquatic themes, like the water type Kyogre, a creature that controls the seas. By incorporating regional traits into the Pokemon's designs, the games create an immersive experience, allowing players to feel like they are exploring real world environments while still encountering fantastical creatures born from the imagination. Fact 25: the Pokemon trading card game, TCG, has been a significant part of the franchise since its debut in 1996. The card game allows players to battle with their favorite Pokemon using strategy and tactics to outsmart their opponents. Over the years, the TCG has expanded, introducing new cards, rarities, and formats for players to enjoy. Collecting the cards themselves became an activity of its own, with rare holographic cards becoming highly sought after by fans. The card game's popularity helped extend the Pokemon brand beyond video games, creating a full fledged culture of competitive play and trading. Fact 26: Pokemon's music has always been an integral part of the experience, with each game introducing its own unique soundtracks. From the peaceful melodies of the original Pokemon Red and Blue to the adventurous themes of Pokemon Sword and Shield, the music plays a key role in setting the tone and atmosphere of the games. The compositions evoke feelings of nostalgia, wonder, and excitement, becoming synonymous with the Pokemon experience. The music is timeless, capturing the essence of each region and its creatures, and stays with players long after they've finished their adventures. Fact 27: the release of Pokemon Go in 2016 brought the Pokemon franchise into the real world, allowing players to catch Pokemon in their own neighborhoods using augmented reality. The game combined the joy of exploration with the magic of the Pokemon universe, creating a worldwide sensation. Pokemon Go encouraged players to go outside, exercise, and interact with their surroundings in ways they never had before. It also introduced the world to the thrill of seeing Pokemon come to life in real world environments, creating unforgettable moments of discovery and connection. Fact 28: the Pokemon world is built on a foundation of friendship and trust. The bond between a Pokemon and its trainer is central to the series, with Pokemon often growing stronger through the trust they share with their trainers. This emotional connection is a recurring theme in both the games and the anime, where Pokemon are not just tools to be used in battle, but companions who grow alongside their trainers. This enduring theme of friendship and mutual respect between trainers and Pokemon is what has helped Pokemon resonate so deeply with fans of all ages. Fact 29: the design process for creating new Pokemon is both detailed and imaginative. Each new generation of Pokemon introduces creatures that are not only visually unique, but also deeply connected to specific themes or concepts. For example, the Pokemon from the Sinnoh region, such as the legendary Giratina, are inspired by concepts of dimension and space. The creative minds behind the Pokemon franchise continually push the boundaries of design, drawing inspiration from everything from animals to ancient mythology, ensuring that each new Pokemon feels fresh, yet rooted in the traditions of the series. Fact 30: the concept of types in Pokemon, such as water, fire, grass, and electric, plays a crucial role in the game's mechanics and battle strategies. Each type has its own strengths and weaknesses, creating a balance that encourages strategic thinking. This dynamic system adds an extra layer of depth to the battles, as trainers must carefully consider their Pokemon's type matchups and moves. It also mirrors the natural world, where creatures thrive in specific environments, and their abilities often relate to their surroundings. The system's simplicity and complexity work together, providing endless possibilities for strategic play. Fact 31. The Pokemon games have always encouraged exploration, allowing players to wander through vast, open worlds filled with hidden paths and secrets. The game's non-linear progression means that players can choose their own adventure, deciding which areas to explore first and which Pokemon to seek out. This sense of freedom adds a layer of immersion to the games, making the world feel like a place that is both alive and waiting to be discovered. Whether exploring caves, forests, or bustling cities, the sense of curiosity and wonder is ever present, guiding players deeper into the Pokemon universe. Fact 32. Throughout the years, the Pokemon franchise has evolved to include a variety of different game genres. From the main series RPGs to spin off titles like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and Pokemon Snap, each game offers a unique perspective on the Pokemon world. These spin offs expand the lore in different ways, allowing players to experience the world of Pokemon through new gameplay mechanics. Whether solving mysteries in dungeons or capturing beautiful snapshots of Pokemon in their natural habitats, these games enrich the Pokemon universe, offering a new way to engage with the beloved franchise. Fact 33. The Pokemon series introduced the concept of shiny Pokemon, which are rare color variants of regular Pokemon. Shiny Pokemon are extremely difficult to find, with their shimmering colors making them highly sought after by collectors. The rarity of shiny Pokemon has made them a symbol of luck and achievement within the community. Finding a shiny Pokemon has become a special moment for players, and many go to great lengths to increase their chances of encountering one. The shimmering effect on these Pokemon adds a touch of magic, making them feel even more rare and precious. Fact 34. Pokemon games have always emphasized the importance of teamwork, with the player's team of Pokemon working together to achieve victory. Players must carefully choose their team, balancing types and abilities to create the most effective lineup. Each Pokemon has its own strengths, weaknesses, and moves, making it essential for players to strategize their approach to battles. This teamwork extends beyond the gameplay itself, as players collaborate with others to trade Pokemon, battle, and complete their Pokedex, fostering a sense of community and shared experience among fans of all ages. Fact 35. The Pokemon anime introduced the concept of gym leaders, powerful trainers who challenge players to prove their skills. Each gym leader is known for their unique specialty, such as Brock with his rock type Pokemon, or Misty with her water types. These leaders serve as important milestones in a trainer's journey, testing their abilities and teaching valuable lessons about strategy and perseverance. The gym battles are some of the most iconic moments in the anime, with each victory bringing the characters one step closer to their ultimate goal of becoming a Pokemon master. Fact 36. Pokemon often draw inspiration from real-world animals, with each creature reflecting the traits of its biological counterpart. For example, Squirtle, the water-type Pokemon, is based on a turtle, while Ekans is inspired by a snake. These animalistic traits make the Pokemon feel grounded in reality, even as they possess fantastical abilities. The blend of the familiar and the extraordinary is one of the reasons Pokemon resonates so deeply with fans, as players can connect with creatures that remind them of the natural world, while also discovering new, imaginative qualities in each one. Fact 37. Pokemon are known for their unique moves, each with its own distinct effects and animations. Some moves, like Thunderbolt or Flamethrower, are staples in the series, known for their power and effectiveness in battle. Others, such as Solar Beam or Hyper Beam, are memorable for their dramatic impact. These moves not only add excitement to battles, but also serve as expressions of the Pokemon's personality and abilities. The variety of moves and the strategic decisions behind choosing the right one make each battle a unique and engaging experience for players. Fact 38. The Pokemon franchise has always been deeply connected to the concept of friendship. Throughout the games and anime, Pokemon are depicted as loyal companions who form strong emotional bonds with their trainers. This theme of friendship is particularly evident in the relationship between Ash and Pikachu, which is the heart of the anime. The enduring bond between Pokemon and their trainers highlights the emotional depth of the franchise, showing that the connection between them goes beyond mere companionship. It's about trust, respect, and a shared journey. Fact 39. The Pokemon franchise is filled with creatures that embody a variety of different elements, including earth, air, fire, water, and more. Each Pokemon's elemental type reflects its natural affinity, such as grass type Pokemon thriving in forests and water type Pokemon living in oceans or lakes. The elemental connections create a harmonious balance within the Pokemon world, where each creature has its place in the ecosystem. The diversity of types ensures that every player can find a Pokemon that suits their preferences and playstyle, while also offering new strategies and combinations to explore. Fact 40. The Pokemon world is constantly evolving, with new regions, creatures, and adventures introduced in each generation. Each new installment of the franchise brings with it fresh mechanics, updates to the battle system, and new creatures to discover. While the core of the games remains the same, capturing, training, and battling Pokemon, each new region and set of creatures adds a layer of excitement and discovery to the experience. This ever expanding world ensures that Pokemon remains a timeless adventure, filled with new challenges, stories, and creatures to meet along the way. Fact 41. The Pokemon world is filled with a rich variety of mythologies, many of which are inspired by real world folklore. For example, the legendary Pokemon Ho-Oh is based on the mythical phoenix, a bird that rises from its own ashes. Ho-Oh is said to bring hope and prosperity to those who see it, symbolizing renewal and transformation. These connections to real myths add layers of depth to the Pokemon universe, giving each creature a sense of historical and cultural significance. The Pokemon world feels more alive when these ancient stories are woven into its creatures. Fact 42. The Pokemon franchise is known for its recurring theme of discovery. In every new game, players encounter new regions, new Pokemon, and new cultures to explore. The idea of uncovering something new, whether it's a rare Pokemon, a hidden area, or an untold piece of lore, is one of the core driving forces behind the series. This theme of exploration invites players to step into a world full of possibilities, constantly keeping them engaged as they continue their journey. The joy of discovery is central to the Pokemon experience and keeps it fresh with every adventure. Fact 43. Many Pokemon, like Meowth from Team Rocket, have human like personalities and emotions, making them relatable to players. These anthropomorphic traits add a unique layer of storytelling, allowing Pokemon to express a range of emotions such as joy, sadness, and even jealousy. This anthropomorphism brings Pokemon closer to us, making them feel like real companions rather than just creatures to catch and train. It's these human like qualities that allow for meaningful relationships to form between trainers and Pokemon, creating an emotional depth that resonates deeply with fans of all ages. Fact 44: the Pokemon franchise has become an entire subculture with its own lexicon, fan communities, and traditions. Fans often gather at conventions, share their favorite theories, or discuss the latest games and episodes of the anime. The bond among Pokemon fans is strong, with many connecting over shared experiences and memories of their time spent in the world of Pokemon. This sense of community is one of the reasons why Pokemon has remained so popular for decades, creating a global network of fans who continue to celebrate their love for the series. Fact 45: the idea of catching them all was inspired by the thrill of collecting. When designing Pokemon, the creators wanted to evoke the feeling of collecting creatures, a concept that would resonate with people's natural desire to complete something. This desire for completion is a key element of the Pokemon experience, encouraging players to explore new areas, trade with friends, and track down rare Pokemon. This goal driven aspect of the game has kept players coming back for more, with the thrill of discovery and achievement always just around the corner. Fact 46: Pokemon has always been about more than just catching creatures. It's about forming bonds with them, understanding their needs, and developing strategies for battles. The series emphasizes the importance of care, patience, and respect. Pokemon are not just tools for battles, they are companions who help players grow. This philosophy is reflected in the game's mechanics, where a strong bond between a Pokemon and its trainer can influence the outcome of a battle. The deeper the connection, the stronger the Pokemon becomes, teaching players that true strength comes from mutual respect and understanding. Fact 47: in the world of Pokemon, every type of creature has its own habitat. From the soaring heights of mountains to the depths of the ocean, Pokemon live in every conceivable environment. The diversity of these habitats contributes to the richness of the world, making each region feel unique. For example, the icy cold of Sinnoh contrasts with the lush, tropical landscapes of Alola. The different habitats reflect the diversity of life on Earth, offering players a chance to experience a variety of ecosystems, each filled with its own mysteries and hidden treasures. Fact 48: throughout the Pokemon series, several creatures have been inspired by real life cryptids, mysterious creatures whose existence has been claimed but not proven. Pokemon like Sudowoodo, a tree like creature, and Giratina, with its connection to other dimensions, echo the fascination with strange and unexplained phenomena. These cryptid like Pokemon add a sense of mystery to the world, inviting players to wonder if there are still undiscovered creatures out there waiting to be found. The inclusion of cryptid inspiration brings an element of the unknown into the Pokemon universe, keeping the sense of wonder alive for players. Fact 49: the Pokemon franchise has always embraced the theme of teamwork, both between Pokemon and their trainers, and among the players themselves. In many games, players are encouraged to collaborate, trade, and battle with one another. This sense of camaraderie extends into the game's mechanics, where players can join forces to defeat powerful opponents or work together to catch rare Pokémon. The social aspect of Pokemon encourages players to connect, share their experiences, and build relationships, turning the Pokemon journey into a shared adventure that extends beyond the screen. Fact 50. The Pokemon anime series has made a significant impact on popular culture, with its catchy theme song and memorable characters becoming iconic in their own right. Ash's journey to become a Pokemon master and his unwavering friendship with Pikachu has captured the hearts of fans worldwide. The anime's success helped establish Pokemon as a cultural phenomenon, introducing a whole new generation to the world of Pokemon. The stories told in the anime are filled with adventure, excitement, and important life lessons, making it more than just entertainment. It's a source of inspiration and joy for fans young and old. Fact 51. The Pokemon world features many creatures that represent the elements, with each element contributing to the unique characteristics of the Pokemon. For instance, fire type Pokemon like Charizard are known for their fiery temperaments, while water type Pokemon such as Squirtle are gentle and adaptable, reflecting the fluidity of water. These elemental traits not only define a Pokemon's appearance, but also its behavior and abilities, creating a deeper connection between the creatures and the natural world. The element based system adds complexity to battles and strategy, making each encounter feel uniquely tied to the forces of nature. Fact 52. One of the earliest Pokemon games to introduce new mechanics was Pokemon Gold and Silver, which brought in the concept of time and day night cycles. Pokemon such as Hoot Hoot only appear at night, while others like Eevee can evolve into different forms depending on the time of day. This addition added a layer of realism to the game, encouraging players to engage with the world around them in new ways. It made the Pokemon world feel more alive and dynamic, with time playing a key role in both exploration and creature evolution. Fact 53. The world of Pokemon is full of hidden details and references, many of which can be found in the designs of the creatures themselves. For example, the Pokemon Magnemite is based on a magnet, and its evolution, Magneton, is a combination of three Magnemites connected by magnetism. These subtle references to the real world allow players to appreciate the creative thought behind each Pokemon's design, as they often find themselves wondering how the creatures relate to the world around them. These connections between fantasy and reality deepen the sense of immersion and exploration within the Pokemon universe. Fact 54. The Pokemon franchise has created an entire ecosystem of creatures, each with its own place in the world. Some Pokemon are herbivores, others carnivores, while many are omnivores. This diversity adds a sense of realism to the world, where each Pokemon has its own niche, much like the animals in our own world. For example, the plant-based Pokemon like Venusaur and Bellsprout thrive in forests and grasslands, while water creatures such as Gyarados and Lapras are drawn to the oceans. This ecological balance makes the Pokemon world feel rich, natural, and full of life. Fact 55. The Pokemon series is known for its detailed and imaginative world building, with each new generation introducing not only new Pokemon, but new regions and cultures. These regions are often inspired by real world locations, creating a sense of familiarity while still feeling fantastical. For example, the Unova region was inspired by New York City, while the Kalos region drew inspiration from France. The cultural influence of each location shapes the Pokemon and the environment, making each journey feel like a new adventure in an entirely new world, full of new wonders to discover. Fact 56. One of the most beloved aspects of Pokemon is the bond between Pokemon and their trainers. In both the games and the anime, this relationship is central to the narrative. Trainers develop deep emotional connections with their Pokemon, often forming lifelong friendships. This bond allows Pokemon to grow stronger in battle, learn new moves, and evolve into more powerful forms. The idea of partnership and trust, built through mutual respect and care, is at the heart of the Pokemon experience, creating a sense of warmth and affection that resonates with fans of all ages. Fact 57. The Pokemon games often feature legendary creatures tied to the lore of the world, and these beings have a special significance in the stories told throughout the franchise. Pokemon like Mewtwo, Entei, and Dialga are not only powerful in battle, but are also symbols of larger themes such as creation, destruction, and time. Their powers and the mysteries surrounding them reflect deep philosophical questions about the nature of existence and the universe, adding layers of meaning to the Pokemon world that extend beyond mere gameplay and into the realm of mythology and legend. Fact 58. The concept of teamwork is deeply embedded in Pokemon's gameplay. In many games, players are not only tasked with catching Pokemon, but also with assembling a team that complements one another's strengths and weaknesses. The synergy between different Pokemon types fire, water, grass, electric, and more encourages players to think strategically and carefully select their team. This teamwork extends to battles, where the right combination of moves and Pokemon can make all the difference. It mirrors the importance of collaboration and understanding in real life, making teamwork a core theme of the Pokemon universe. Fact 59. The Pokemon anime series introduced us to a vast array of characters, from trainers to gym leaders, each with their own unique personalities and motivations. Characters like Brock, Misty, and Team Rocket's Jesse and James have become iconic, each bringing their own charm and humor to the series. These characters help to flesh out the Pokemon world, adding human depth to the creatures and regions players encounter. They teach important lessons about friendship, determination, and the power of believing in one's dreams, making the Pokemon universe not just a world of creatures, but a world of inspiring stories. Fact 60. Pokemon have a unique ability to bring people together. The games, anime, trading card game, and other media have created a global community of fans who share a common love for these creatures. Whether it's through online forums, social media, or in person events, Pokemon has provided a platform for fans to connect and bond over their shared experiences. The sense of belonging that comes from being part of the Pokemon community is powerful, and it has helped create lasting friendships and connections that span across generations and cultures. Fact 61. The Pokemon franchise has introduced numerous iconic rivalries, most notably the dynamic between Ash and his rival Gary Oak. Gary's competitive nature and constant pursuit of greatness create an engaging contrast to Ash's more heartfelt and determined approach. This rivalry pushed both characters to grow, with each encounter teaching them valuable lessons about perseverance, pride, and humility. Through their rivalry, the Pokemon series highlighted the importance of competition as a means of self improvement, while also reinforcing that true success comes from dedication and the bonds formed along the journey, not just victory. Fact 62: the bond between Ash and his Pokemon is central to the anime series, especially the relationship between Ash and Pikachu. Pikachu's loyalty to Ash and the challenges they face together form the emotional core of the show. Pikachu is not just a companion, but a true friend, showing the depth of the connection that can exist between a Pokemon and its trainer. This bond goes beyond the battlefield, extending to moments of comfort, trust, and mutual understanding, making Pikachu's role in the series one of friendship, loyalty, and shared dreams. Fact 63: each Pokemon has its own set of abilities and stats that make them unique. These abilities not only affect the Pokemon's performance in battle, but also reflect its personality and role in the Pokemon world. For example, the ability Levitate allows Pokemon like Gengar to float above the ground, making them immune to ground type moves. These unique abilities add depth to the gameplay, as players must consider not only type matchups, but also the specific traits that make each Pokemon distinct. This adds an extra layer of strategy and personalization to every battle. Fact 64: the concept of trainer bonds is deeply explored in the Pokemon games and anime. The stronger the bond between a Pokemon and its trainer, the more powerful and cooperative the Pokemon becomes. This idea is most prominently seen in the bond between Ash and his Pokemon, especially Pikachu. The connection between trainers and Pokemon isn't just about commands and battles, it's about trust, care, and understanding. In the world of Pokemon, the relationship between a trainer and their Pokemon is essential for success, as it strengthens their partnership and enhances their shared experiences. Fact 65: the Pokemon games often feature hidden areas and rare creatures that can only be discovered by players who are diligent and curious. Those secret locations, such as the Safari Zone or the Pokewalker in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, offer a sense of wonder and discovery. The act of finding hidden Pokemon or special items encourages players to explore every corner of the Pokemon world, rewarding curiosity with new experiences and creatures to befriend. This element of discovery fuels the sense of adventure that defines the Pokemon series, ensuring that there's always something new to uncover. Fact 66: in many Pokemon games, there's a central theme of protecting nature and the environment. Legendary Pokemon such as Kyogre and Groudon are tied to the balance of natural forces, with one representing the sea and the other the land. These creatures' stories often explore themes of harmony and conflict as they fight to preserve the natural world. This focus on the preservation of nature serves as a reminder that Pokemon are not just fictional creatures, but representations of real world concerns, inviting players to reflect on their relationship with the environment and the importance of balance. Fact 67: Pokemon have appeared in many different forms of media, from video games to trading cards, television shows, and movies. The Pokemon movies often focus on the legendary creatures and their impact on the world. These films explore deeper themes, such as destiny, sacrifice, and the nature of power. Movies like Pokémon, the first movie, and Pokémon 2000 have become iconic, introducing fans to powerful stories about the Pokémon universe. These films not only entertain, but also deepen the lore, expanding the emotional and philosophical landscape of the Pokémon world. Fact 68. The Pokemon franchise has always incorporated a sense of nostalgia, especially for longtime fans. Many games feature familiar characters, regions, and Pokemon, bringing back beloved memories of past adventures. For example, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are remakes of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, allowing players to revisit the Hoenn region. These remakes, along with the return of classic Pokemon, create a sense of continuity and warmth, making players feel as though they are revisiting an old friend. Nostalgia plays a large role in keeping the Pokemon franchise timeless and accessible across generations. Fact 69. The Pokemon games have had a significant influence on other video game franchises. Many games, especially RPGs, have borrowed elements from Pokemon, such as creature collecting, battling, and evolving. The idea of capturing and training creatures to fight for you has become a staple in many other games. Pokemon's combination of strategy, exploration, and collection has inspired countless other titles, cementing its place in the gaming world. The impact of Pokemon is evident in the way it reshaped the gaming landscape and influenced generations of players and developers alike. Fact 70. Throughout the Pokemon series, there has been a strong emphasis on the importance of teamwork, both in battle and in life. The Pokemon games and anime often showcase characters who work together to overcome challenges, whether it's a group of trainers or a Pokemon and its trainer. The idea of working together, complementing each other's strengths, and supporting each other through tough times is a recurring theme. This theme teaches players the value of cooperation and how teamwork can lead to success, making it an important lesson both in and outside of the Pokemon world. Fact 71. The world of Pokemon is brimming with diverse species, and each Pokemon has its own unique traits and abilities. Some Pokemon have psychic powers like Alakazam, while others, like Machamp, possess incredible strength. These abilities aren't just for battle, they often reflect the Pokemon's nature and the world they inhabit. The variety in powers gives each Pokemon its own personality, making them feel distinct and alive. This diversity also adds a layer of strategy to the games, as players must consider their Pokemon's strengths and weaknesses when forming their teams and tackling challenges. Fact 72. Pokemon games are often designed with a sense of progression and reward. As players journey through the world, they encounter new Pokemon, face challenges, and grow stronger. One of the most satisfying aspects of the games is seeing a Pokemon evolve after hours of training and care. This sense of achievement not only reflects the player's progress, but also mirrors the Pokemon's growth, making the evolution process feel like a natural part of their journey. The emotional payoff of watching a Pokemon grow and change is one of the core joys of the Pokemon experience. Fact 73. Pokemon's mythology is rich with powerful creatures known as the legendary Pokemon. These beings are often connected to natural forces, such as time, space, or the weather, and are shrouded in mystery. For example, Dialga and Palkia control time and space, while the mighty Groudon and Kyogre govern the elements of land and sea. These legendary Pokemon are not only powerful in battle, but also hold great significance in the lore, representing forces beyond the comprehension of most trainers. They serve as symbols of power, mystery, and the unknown, adding depth to the Pokemon world. Fact 74. The Pokemon games are filled with puzzles and secrets, inviting players to explore every corner of the Pokemon world. Hidden areas, Secret items and rare Pokemon encourage players to keep searching, offering rewards for those who go the extra mile. The sense of discovery is a key part of the Pokemon experience, as players feel a sense of wonder each time they uncover something new. Whether it's finding a hidden cave or stumbling upon a rare Pokemon, these moments of discovery help keep the games engaging and ensure there's always something waiting to be found. Fact 75. The idea of catching them all has evolved over time, with new mechanics and features introduced in each generation of Pokemon games. One notable addition was the concept of Pokemon breeding, introduced in Gold and Silver. This feature allowed players to breed Pokemon to create new generations, sometimes resulting in rare or special traits. Breeding added another layer of strategy to the game, as trainers could now work towards obtaining specific Pokemon with desirable qualities. This mechanic deepened the sense of care and dedication needed to complete the Pokédex, making the journey even more rewarding. Fact 76. Many Pokemon have unique and interesting abilities that go beyond just their physical strength. For example, the Pokemon ability Immunity makes a Pokemon immune to poison, while Levitate allows Pokemon to float above the ground, making them immune to ground type moves. These special abilities are part of what makes each Pokemon unique, giving them a sense of individuality. Players must carefully consider these abilities when forming teams, as they can provide significant advantages in battle. This adds a layer of depth to the gameplay, where strategy and preparation are key to success. Fact 77. The Pokemon franchise has expanded beyond games and television to include a wide range of merchandise, from toys to clothing to collectibles. One of the most iconic pieces of Pokemon merchandise is the plush toys, which feature the adorable designs of Pokemon like Pikachu, Bulbasaur, and Snorlax. These toys have become beloved items for fans of all ages, offering a tangible connection to the Pokemon world. They allow fans to bring their favorite creatures home, adding a sense of comfort and companionship, much like the Pokemon themselves, who are there to provide warmth and friendship. Fact 78. Pokemon games are often set in regions inspired by real world places, and the region of Alola is no exception. Based on the Hawaiian Islands, Alola introduced a tropical, laid back atmosphere to the franchise. The Alola region also brought new forms of Pokemon, called Alolan forms, which were unique variations of existing Pokemon that adapted to the region's climate and environment. These new forms gave a fresh twist on familiar creatures, adding a sense of discovery and excitement for longtime fans. Alola's unique culture, inspired by the Hawaiian Islands, also provided a vibrant backdrop for players to explore. Fact 79. Legendary and mythical Pokemon are often associated with grand themes and philosophical ideas. For example, Mewtwo represents the dangers of artificial creation and the ethics of cloning, while the powerful Articuno is tied to the theme of freedom and grace. These themes give these Pokemon a sense of gravitas, making their appearances in the games and anime feel like encounters with creatures that transcend the ordinary world. The stories surrounding legendary Pokemon often explore deep philosophical questions about power, creation, and existence, offering players a chance to reflect on these ideas as they embark on their own journeys. Fact 80. Throughout the Pokemon series, there are recurring characters who play important roles in the narrative, such as Professor Oak, Professor Elm, and more recently, Professor Kukui. These professors serve as guides, helping trainers begin their journey by providing them with their first Pokemon and offering wisdom throughout the adventure. They are also often the ones to explain the world of Pokemon, from battle mechanics to evolutionary theory. These characters serve as mentors, guiding players not only through the game, but also helping them better understand the deep, layered world of Pokemon. Fact 81: the Pokemon world is filled with creatures that embody various elements of nature, from the gentle sway of leaves to the powerful force of a thunderstorm. Pokemon like Exeggutor and Leafeon represent the harmony of nature, while others, like Zapdos and Raikou, embody the fury of storms. This connection to the elements brings each Pokemon to life, making them feel like natural extensions of the world around them. It's as though each creature is a living representation of a force of nature, blending the mythical with the elements to create a truly immersive experience. Fact 82: the Pokemon games often feature a sense of balance between science and magic, where technology and nature coexist. For example, the creation of Pokemon like Mewtwo, an artificial creature born from scientific experimentation, contrasts with the mythical, divine nature of Pokemon like Arceus, who is said to have created the universe. This interplay between science and magic highlights the duality within the Pokemon world, where the forces of nature and human ingenuity both shape the existence of creatures. It's a delicate balance that adds depth to the lore, blending the tangible with the mystical. Fact 83: the Pokemon universe is filled with references to real world animals, plants, and even historical figures. For instance, the Pokemon Pidgey is modeled after a pigeon, while Gyarados is inspired by the Chinese dragon myth. These creatures reflect the diversity of the natural world and history, grounding the fantastical in the familiar. The designs draw inspiration from nature, folklore, and even pop culture, creating a world that feels simultaneously familiar and magical. The connections to the real world make each Pokemon feel relatable, as though they could exist alongside the creatures we encounter every day. Fact 84: Pokemon games often feature unique, challenging side quests that add layers to the main storyline. One of the most notable examples is the quest to catch legendary Pokemon, which requires players to solve puzzles, explore hidden areas, and often face difficult battles. These quests are designed to test the player's skills and patience, rewarding them with the chance to catch powerful creatures. The thrill of discovery and achievement that comes with completing these side quests provides an added sense of purpose, making each adventure feel like a deeper journey into the Pokemon world. Fact 85: in the world of Pokemon, there are creatures that transcend the concept of type. Pokemon like Mew and Celebi are linked to mythical and spiritual realms, often possessing abilities that defy the rules of traditional battle mechanics. These legendary and mythical Pokemon challenge players to rethink the boundaries of what is possible, introducing a sense of mystery and wonder. They represent forces beyond comprehension, adding a layer of complexity and intrigue to the Pokemon universe. Encountering them is more than a battle, it's an exploration of the unknown, a chance to witness the extraordinary. Fact 86: the Pokemon anime has introduced countless memorable characters, each with their own unique personalities and roles in the story. Characters like Brock and Misty serve as companions to Ash, offering advice, guidance, and support on his journey. Other characters, such as Team Rocket's Jesse, James, and Meowth, provide comic relief and a sense of mischief to the series. These diverse personalities help to create a dynamic, engaging story where every character adds something meaningful to the narrative. The interactions between Ash and his friends, as well as his encounters with rivals, add emotional depth to the series. Fact 87. The concept of evolution in Pokemon is often symbolic of personal growth and transformation. Pokemon evolve into stronger forms, gaining new abilities and powers as they progress. This process mirrors the way individuals grow and change over time, learning from experiences and becoming more capable as they face challenges. The evolution mechanic encourages players to invest in their Pokemon, not only as combatants, but as companions who mature alongside them. It's a process of nurturing, patience, and dedication, emphasizing the value of growth and change in both the Pokemon world and in our own lives. Fact 88. The Pokemon series frequently introduces new mechanics that enhance the overall gameplay experience. One of the most notable additions was the concept of Mega Evolution, which allowed certain Pokemon to evolve temporarily into stronger forms during battle. This mechanic introduced new strategies and tactical depth, as players had to decide when to use their Mega Evolution for maximum advantage. The introduction of Mega Evolution also highlighted the idea that Pokemon, like their trainers, have the potential for growth and change, symbolizing the limitless possibilities that come with dedication, training, and the bond between trainer and Pokemon. Fact 89. The Pokemon world is filled with mysterious locations that spark the curiosity of both trainers and players alike. Places like the Safari Zone and the Battle Frontier are designed to offer unique experiences, often requiring players to solve puzzles or complete challenges. These special areas are filled with rare Pokemon and hidden secrets, rewarding players who venture off the beaten path. The allure of these places encourages exploration, creating a sense of discovery and excitement. It's a reminder that in the Pokemon world, there's always something new to uncover, just waiting for the curious to find it. Fact 90. Throughout the Pokemon games, the concept of friendship and teamwork is explored in both subtle and overt ways. Pokemon grow stronger when they form strong bonds with their trainers, reflecting the power of trust and mutual respect. In the anime, Ash's relationships with his Pokemon are central to the story, with each bond reinforcing the idea that true strength comes from within, not just physical power. This theme of collaboration extends beyond the individual Pokemon and trainer, as players often work with others through trading, battling, and sharing experiences. The message is clear: working together makes us stronger. Fact 91. The Pokemon world is home to many different ecosystems, each one offering unique environments for creatures to thrive in. From the lush forests of Kanto to the snowy mountains of Sinnoh, every region presents a different natural landscape. These settings reflect the diversity of life on Earth, with each Pokemon species adapting to its environment. Whether it's a Pokemon like Vileplume flourishing in a forest, or a water type like Gyarados living in the deep oceans, the ecosystem of each region helps shape the Pokemon that inhabit it, making every location feel rich and alive with possibilities. Fact 92. The Pokemon franchise has always been known for its creativity and innovation. In Pokemon Sun and Moon, A new form of battle, the Alola battle format, was introduced, which allowed for unique battles where the terrain itself affected the strategy. These new battle formats added depth and excitement to the gameplay, offering new ways for players to experience Pokemon battles. This continued innovation has kept the franchise fresh, always offering something new for longtime fans and newcomers alike, proving that the Pokemon world continues to evolve while retaining its core spirit of adventure and discovery. Fact 93: Pokemon often draw inspiration from the animal kingdom, with many creatures resembling real world animals in both form and behavior. For example, the Pokemon Snorlax is inspired by a bear or large mammal, with its massive size and need for rest. Pokemon like Zubat and Crobat are based on bats, exhibiting their traits of flying and nocturnal activity. These animal based designs make Pokemon feel grounded in nature, creating a connection between the creatures and the world around us. This connection to real animals adds an element of familiarity while still allowing for the fantastical and the unknown. Fact 94: The concept of legendary Pokemon goes beyond their strength in battle. These creatures are often tied to the lore and mythology of the Pokemon world. For example, Mewtwo was created through scientific experimentation, while Ho-Oh is seen as a bringer of hope. These Pokemon are more than just powerful allies. They embody larger ideas such as creation, destruction, and the balance of nature. Their mythical status adds an air of mystery, making them coveted by trainers and revered as guardians of the world. They remind us of the great, untold mysteries that lie within the Pokemon universe. Fact 95: The connection between trainers and their Pokemon is often a central theme in the series, reflecting the importance of companionship, trust, and care. In the Pokemon games, trainers must raise their Pokemon with patience and dedication, fostering growth and strength through shared experiences. This connection goes beyond simply battling. It's about understanding the Pokemon's needs, emotions, and desires. Pokemon evolve and become stronger, not just through battles, but through the love and care given by their trainers. The powerful bond that forms between them serves as a reminder of the beauty of companionship. Fact 96: The Pokemon world is filled with powerful and often mysterious creatures called mythical Pokemon. These Pokemon, such as Mew, Celebi, and Jirachi, are often connected to larger cosmic or divine forces. Mythical Pokemon are usually rare, only available through special events or rare in game occurrences, adding to their mystique. These creatures embody themes of destiny, hope, and creation, often serving as symbols of larger natural forces. Encountering a mythical Pokemon is an extraordinary event, not just because of its power, but because it represents the wonder and mystery of the Pokemon world. Fact 97: Many Pokemon games feature a day-night cycle, which affects the availability of certain Pokemon and the overall experience. Some Pokemon, like Hoot Hoot, are only found during the night, while others, like Bellsprout, are more active during the day. This feature adds a layer of realism to the game, making the world feel more dynamic and alive. It also encourages players to play at different times, offering new experiences depending on when they are playing. The cycle of day and night mirrors the natural world, bringing a sense of rhythm and continuity to the Pokemon universe. Fact 98: The concept of types is one of the cornerstones of the Pokemon franchise. Each Pokemon belongs to one or more types, such as fire, water, electric, or psychic, and these types determine how they interact with other Pokemon in battle. For example, fire type Pokemon are strong against grass types, but weak against water types. This system creates a strategic layer in the gameplay, as players must choose the right Pokemon and moves to counter their opponent's strengths. The type system is a fundamental part of Pokemon battles, adding depth and complexity to the experience. Fact 99: Pokemon are not just tools for battle, but are also treated as companions. Throughout the series, trainers develop deep emotional bonds with their Pokemon, and the care they provide influences their strength. Pokemon can form friendships with their trainers, becoming more cooperative and powerful as the relationship grows. This dynamic is particularly evident in the anime, where Ash's connection with Pikachu is a shining example of how trust and loyalty can make a team stronger. The connection between trainer and Pokemon is not just functional, but emotional, forming the heart of the Pokemon experience. Fact 100: The Pokemon franchise has made its mark not just in video games, but also in movies, merchandise, and other forms of media. The Pokemon movies have expanded on the stories of legendary Pokemon, often exploring deeper themes of sacrifice, destiny, and the nature of power. These films bring the Pokemon world to life in new ways, allowing fans to experience epic adventures and emotional moments on the big screen. The success of the Pokemon movies has helped establish the franchise as a global cultural phenomenon, transcending generations and continuing to bring joy to fans worldwide. Fact 101: The Pokemon world is vast and diverse, with each new region offering something unique to explore. One of the most iconic regions is Kanto, the original setting of the Pokemon games, which is based on the real Kanto region in Japan. The region is home to some of the most beloved Pokemon, such as Pikachu and Charmander. Kanto's blend of urban areas and wild landscapes created a perfect balance, making it a welcoming introduction to the Pokemon world. Its charm lies in its simplicity, making it feel like the perfect starting point for any trainer's journey. Fact 102: In the Pokemon world, evolution plays a significant role in a creature's growth, but not all Pokemon evolve in the same way. Some Pokemon, like Eevee, can evolve into multiple different forms, depending on factors like friendship or time of day. This variability adds a layer of strategy to the game, as trainers must decide how to evolve their Pokemon based on their needs and preferences. The idea of multiple evolution paths also makes certain Pokemon more adaptable, offering players various ways to approach battles and team building, adding excitement and variety to the Pokemon experience. Fact 103: The relationship between Pokemon and their trainers is often the emotional core of the franchise. In the anime, this connection is beautifully illustrated through Ash and Pikachu's unwavering bond. Pikachu isn't just a companion, it's a reflection of Ash's growth, loyalty, and dedication. Over the years, Ash's bond with Pikachu has been tested, but their friendship has only grown stronger. This relationship is a central theme throughout the Pokemon series, showing that true strength comes not just from power, but from the connection between Pokemon and their trainers, rooted in mutual respect and trust. Fact 104: The Pokemon series has introduced many memorable items that enhance gameplay and deepen the connection between players and Pokemon. Items like Pokeballs allow trainers to catch Pokemon, while healing items restore health during or after battles. Some items, like the Everstone, allow Pokemon to maintain their current form, while others, like the rare candy, provide a shortcut to leveling up. These items give players more control over their Pokemon's growth and battles, offering new ways to strategize and interact with their creatures. They add depth to the experience, making each decision feel more meaningful. Fact 105: the legendary Pokemon in the series often represent elements of nature or the universe itself, such as time, space, and the weather. Pokemon like Dialga and Palkia, who control time and space, represent the foundational forces of the cosmos. Meanwhile, other legendary Pokemon like Kyogre and Groudon control the elements of water and land, shaping the world around them. These powerful beings are often tied to the creation myths of the Pokemon world, and their stories add a layer of mystery and grandeur, making them far more than just powerful creatures to capture. Fact 106: the Pokemon universe often explores themes of balance, with creatures and regions reflecting opposing forces. One of the most prominent examples is the rivalry between Groudon, the legendary Pokemon representing land, and Kyogre, the legendary Pokemon of the sea. Their battle, which is central to the lore of the Hoenn region, symbolizes the delicate balance between nature's opposing forces. This conflict between land and sea, fire and water, light and dark, recurs throughout the Pokemon world, reinforcing the idea that harmony often arises from the coexistence of contrasting elements. Fact 107: the Pokemon games and anime have always had an underlying message of personal growth and perseverance. Characters like Ash Ketchum demonstrate that success isn't always immediate and that the journey is just as important as the destination. Through his many challenges, Ash learns valuable lessons about trust, effort, and never giving up on his dreams. This theme resonates with players, especially young ones, who learn that dedication and friendship are key to overcoming obstacles. Pokemon encourages players to grow, not just as trainers, but as individuals, teaching that progress comes through patience and resilience. Fact 108: the Pokemon world is home to a wide variety of creatures, many of which are based on animals, plants, and mythical beings. For example, the Pokemon Butterfree is inspired by a butterfly, while Tangela resembles a mass of tangled vines. These designs bring familiar elements of the natural world into the fantastical realm of Pokemon. By drawing from real-life animals and plants, the Pokemon creators have created a universe where the familiar meets the fantastic, allowing players to encounter creatures they can relate to while also exploring entirely new and imaginative designs. Fact 109: the concept of teamwork is essential in Pokemon, especially during battles. In the world of Pokemon, trainers must not only choose the right Pokemon for each challenge, but also decide which moves to use and when. This requires careful planning and collaboration between Pokemon and trainer. Pokemon often work together during battles, with certain moves complementing one another, creating powerful combinations. This synergy between Pokemon and their trainers is central to the Pokemon experience, highlighting the importance of cooperation and the bond between the two as they work together to achieve victory. Fact 110: Pokemon often carry deeper meanings beyond their role in battles. Some Pokemon are inspired by cultural symbols, historical events, or even emotions. For example, the Pokemon Lucario is associated with the concept of aura and is often seen as a guardian of the world. Lucario's design and abilities symbolize both inner strength and wisdom, making it one of the more philosophical Pokemon. These deeper meanings enrich the Pokemon world, adding layers of symbolism and significance that make each encounter with a Pokemon feel like more than just a battle. It's an exploration of ideas and themes. Fact 111. One of the most iconic and beloved Pokemon is Pikachu, who became the franchise's mascot. Pikachu's design, with its round cheeks, large eyes, and small, adorable stature, captures the essence of innocence and joy. As Ash's loyal companion, Pikachu has been with him through every region and challenge, becoming a symbol of friendship and perseverance. Pikachu's popularity is not just due to its cute design, but also because of its role in the story. It represents the bond between Pokemon and their trainers, showing how love and care lead to growth and strength. Fact 112. Throughout the Pokemon series, there are many creatures that are based on ancient mythological beings. For instance, the Pokemon Regigigas is inspired by the concept of giant beings in various myths, such as the Titans in Greek mythology. This connection to mythology not only adds depth to the Pokemon designs, but also gives them a sense of timelessness. These myth inspired Pokemon serve as reminders of the powerful forces that shaped the world, embodying ancient legends and offering players the opportunity to interact with beings that seem to belong to the pages of history and legend. Fact 113. The Pokemon anime's setting spans various regions, each with its unique culture, geography, and atmosphere. From the lush forests of Kanto to the snowy peaks of Sinnoh, each region offers a different experience. These settings are not only visually distinct, but also inform the kinds of Pokemon that live there, adding depth and immersion to the world. The regional diversity in Pokemon designs ensures that no two places feel the same, creating a sense of adventure and excitement as trainers explore new areas and encounter new challenges in their quest to become Pokemon masters. Fact 114. The Pokemon series that has introduced countless characters over the years, each with unique personalities and motivations. Some of these characters, like gym leaders and Elite Four members, challenge players to become better trainers by testing their skills in battle. Others, like Team Rocket's Jesse, James, and Meowth, provide comic relief and add light-hearted moments to the story. These characters add emotional depth and humor to the Pokemon world, enriching the narrative and ensuring that every journey feels unique, with new faces and personalities to meet along the way. Fact 115. The concept of teamwork and cooperation is explored in the Pokemon series through the relationships between trainers and their Pokemon. Each Pokemon has unique strengths, abilities, and personalities, and it's up to the trainer to guide them to success. Trainers must also work together with other players to complete the Pokédex or face off in multiplayer battles. These cooperative elements extend beyond the gameplay, reflecting the importance of teamwork in real life. The shared experiences between trainers and Pokemon and between players teach that working together toward a common goal is the key to success. Fact 116. In the Pokemon universe, many creatures are inspired by real-world animals, plants, and elements. For example, the Pokemon Bulbasaur is a combination of a dinosaur and a plant, reflecting the symbiotic relationship between living creatures and nature. This blending of nature with fantasy is a hallmark of the franchise, allowing players to connect with the creatures in a way that feels both familiar and magical. The designs of Pokemon often reflect the world around them, making it easy for players to recognize the traits of real animals while still being surprised by the imaginative aspects of each creature. Fact 117: the Pokemon franchise has had a significant impact on pop culture, influencing everything from video games to movies, merchandise, and even language. Terms like gotta catch 'em all and Pokemon Master have become part of the collective cultural lexicon. The influence of Pokemon extends beyond just the fan community, as it has touched nearly every corner of the entertainment world. The games, anime, and movies have become a global phenomenon, bringing people together from different cultures and generations, united by their love for the Pokemon world and its ever expanding universe. Fact 118: the Pokemon games often feature a legendary component, where players must seek out and capture powerful, rare Pokemon that are central to the region's mythology. For example, in the Sinnoh region, players can encounter the legendary Pokemon Dialga and Palkia, who represent time and space. These legendary creatures are more than just strong in battle. They are woven into the fabric of the region's lore, often playing a key role in the balance of the world. These encounters feel significant, marking pivotal moments in the player's journey as they uncover the deep mysteries of the Pokemon world. Fact 119: the idea of types in Pokemon is an integral part of the franchise's mechanics. Pokemon are categorized into various types, such as fire, water, electric, and grass, each with its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, water type Pokemon are strong against fire types, but weak against electric types. This type based system adds an element of strategy to the game, as players must carefully select their Pokemon and moves to gain the upper hand in battle. The variety of types ensures that no two battles are exactly the same, encouraging players to think tactically and adapt to each challenge. Fact 120: Pokemon have the ability to learn a wide range of moves, each with its own unique effects. Some moves, like Thunderbolt or Flamethrower, are powerful and direct, while others, like Toxic or Leech Seed, focus on status effects. The wide variety of moves available allows for endless combinations and strategies, enabling players to customize their Pokemon's battle style. This variety adds a layer of complexity to the game, as trainers must think carefully about the moves they teach their Pokemon to ensure they are ready for any challenge that comes their way. Fact 121: the Pokemon games have evolved over time to include new mechanics and features, keeping the franchise fresh for both new and returning players. One of the most significant updates was the introduction of double battles in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, where two Pokemon can battle at the same time, adding a new layer of strategy. This change not only altered the way battles were approached, but also introduced a new level of teamwork between Pokemon. Double battles allowed players to experiment with different combinations of moves and Pokemon, enriching the battle experience. Fact 122: the Pokemon world has a variety of unique creatures, each with its own abilities and characteristics. Some Pokemon, like Ditto, can transform into other Pokemon, while others, like Zoroark, can create illusions to deceive their opponents. These special abilities add layers of complexity to the battles, where strategy and surprise often lead to victory. Some abilities, like Levitate or Regenerator, provide tactical advantages that can change the course of a battle. These abilities make each Pokemon feel unique, offering players endless combinations and strategies to explore throughout their adventure. Fact 123: the Pokemon universe is filled with a rich array of legendary and mythical Pokemon that are integral to the world's lore. These rare and often powerful creatures represent significant forces such as time, space, and nature. Pokemon like Lugia and Ho-Oh are seen as guardians of the world, while others, like Mewtwo, question the ethics of creation. The stories behind these Pokemon often delve into deep philosophical themes, such as the balance of nature or the consequences of scientific experimentation, making them more than just powerful creatures. They are symbols of larger forces at play in the Pokemon universe. Fact 124: Pokemon games are known for their rich world building, with each region offering a unique experience. For example, the Galar region, introduced in Pokemon Sword and Shield, draws inspiration from the United Kingdom, featuring lush green fields, industrial towns, and grand stadiums for battles. This region introduced a new style of battle with the Dynamax mechanic, allowing Pokemon to temporarily grow to massive sizes. Galar's distinct culture and geography brought a fresh vibe to the franchise, allowing players to immerse themselves in an entirely new world while retaining the familiar thrill of discovering new Pokemon. Fact 125: in the Pokemon universe, some Pokemon possess abilities that influence the environment around them. Pokemon like Venusaur and Butterfree use their natural powers to control the weather, creating rain or sunlight that affects the battlefield. These abilities mirror the way certain creatures in nature influence their surroundings, adding a sense of realism to the game. Players can harness these abilities to gain advantages in battle, making them an important part of strategy. These weather-based mechanics add a new layer of complexity, encouraging players to think about how the environment interacts with their Pokemon's powers. Fact 126: the Pokemon anime series introduced fans to many memorable characters, but one of the most beloved has always been Ash Ketchum's loyal companion, Pikachu. Pikachu's evolution from a simple electric-type Pokemon to the franchise's mascot is a testament to its charm and popularity. Pikachu's bond with Ash is the emotional core of the anime, with their friendship growing stronger with each episode. Their relationship teaches valuable lessons about trust, teamwork, and perseverance. Pikachu's infectious energy and loyalty have made it one of the most iconic characters in the Pokemon world, beloved by fans worldwide. Fact 127: over the years, the Pokemon franchise has expanded into various forms of media, from video games to movies, trading cards, and more. The Pokemon Trading Card Game, TCG, was introduced in 1996 and has since become a major part of the franchise. Players collect and battle with Pokemon cards, each with unique abilities, moves, and stats. The TCG introduced a competitive aspect to the Pokemon experience, allowing players to test their strategies and battle other trainers. The card game has a thriving community, with tournaments held worldwide, making it an enduring part of the Pokemon legacy. Fact 128: Pokemon games often feature hidden areas and rare creatures that only the most dedicated players can find. Some of these hidden gems are accessible through special in-game events, while others can only be discovered by exploring every nook and cranny of the game world. The sense of discovery adds a sense of adventure and excitement as players uncover secrets and treasures that make the Pokemon world feel even more alive. Finding these rare Pokemon or hidden items offers a rewarding experience, showing that patience and curiosity can lead to great rewards in the Pokemon universe. Fact 169. One of the most captivating aspects of the Pokemon games is the opportunity to bond with your Pokemon. As players progress through the games, they develop strong relationships with their Pokemon, watching them grow and evolve. This bond is reflected in the mechanics, where the closer the bond between a Pokemon and its trainer, the stronger the Pokemon becomes. Pokemon who have a high level of affection for their trainer may perform better in battle, hit harder, and avoid moves that would normally cause them to faint. This emphasizes the importance of care and attention in the journey. Fact 130. The Pokemon world is filled with stunning locations that invite exploration, from the bustling cities to the tranquil forests and deep caves. Each region offers its own unique landscapes, each designed to complement the creatures that inhabit them. The Sinnoh region, for example, features snowy mountains and lush forests, while the Johto region offers serene lakes and quiet rural towns. These diverse environments help bring the Pokemon world to life, offering players a chance to immerse themselves in different cultures, climates, and ecosystems. Each new location presents a fresh sense of wonder waiting to be discovered. Fact 131. The Pokemon universe is rich with a variety of special moves that can drastically change the course of a battle. Moves like Transform, where Pokemon like Ditto can take on the form of an opponent, and Teleport, which allows Psychic type Pokemon to escape battles, show the versatility of these creatures. These unique moves add an element of surprise and strategy, encouraging players to think creatively and unpredictably. It's not always about raw power. Sometimes, the key to victory lies in clever tactics and the ability to adapt to the situation at hand. Fact 132. The concept of gym battles is central to the Pokemon series, where players challenge gym leaders to earn badges and prove their worth as trainers. Each gym leader specializes in a specific type of Pokemon, and their teams often reflect that focus. For example, in the Kanto region, Misty, the Cerulean City gym leader, specializes in water type Pokemon, while Brock, the Pewter City gym leader, uses rock type Pokemon. These specialized battles add a strategic layer to the game, requiring players to consider their Pokemon's strengths and weaknesses as they work their way through each gym challenge. Fact 133. Many Pokemon are based on mythical creatures or legends from different cultures around the world. For instance, the legendary Pokemon Giratina is inspired by the concept of alternate dimensions and is often associated with the idea of a world of shadow and mystery. This connection to myth and folklore adds depth to the Pokemon universe, making each encounter with a legendary Pokemon feel like a brush with the ancient mysteries. These mythological inspirations make the Pokemon world feel vast and timeless, with creatures that carry the weight of stories and legends passed down through generations. Fact 134. The idea of types in Pokemon is not just a gameplay mechanic, but also a way of representing the different forces and elements in nature. Pokemon types like fire, water, electric, and grass reflect natural elements that interact with each other in complex ways. This system creates a deep level of strategy in battles where players must carefully choose their Pokemon and moves to exploit type advantages and avoid weaknesses. The type system brings a sense of order to the world of Pokemon, where nature's balance is mirrored in the gameplay dynamics. Fact 135. One of the most beloved aspects of the Pokemon anime is its ability to teach valuable life lessons through the adventures of Ash and his companions. Themes of perseverance, friendship, and determination are explored in each episode as Ash and Pikachu face challenges together and grow stronger. The show often emphasizes the importance of never giving up on one's dreams and the power of teamwork. These positive messages resonate with viewers, showing that success is not always about winning, but about the journey and the relationships built along the way. Fact 136. Pokemon games often incorporate a sense of balance between the everyday and the extraordinary. On the one hand, players are tasked with catching creatures, battling, and exploring the Pokemon world, which seems like an ordinary adventure. On the other hand, the existence of legendary Pokemon, powerful creatures with deep connections to the universe, elevates the experience to a more mythical level. This balance between the mundane and the fantastic creates a unique world that feels grounded in reality, yet filled with wonder, where every ordinary encounter could lead to a new, extraordinary discovery. Fact 137. One of the central themes of the Pokemon franchise is the connection between Pokemon and their trainers. This relationship is built on mutual trust and understanding, and it often extends beyond just the battle mechanics. Pokemon can communicate with their trainers through their actions and expressions, making it clear that they are more than just creatures to be commanded. This emotional bond between Pokemon and trainer plays a crucial role in the Pokemon world, as the trust and respect shared between them lead to stronger bonds, improved teamwork, and ultimately success in battles. In fact, 138, the Pokemon series is filled with hidden references and Easter eggs that pay homage to the franchise's rich history. For example, in Pokemon Gold and Silver, players can visit the Kanto region, a nod to the original games. These subtle nods to previous games and regions create a sense of continuity within the Pokemon universe, allowing fans to appreciate the franchise's evolution over time. These references encourage longtime players to revisit earlier games, while also rewarding them with a deeper connection to the series, creating a world that feels cohesive and ever expanding. Fact 139. The Pokemon games have always been about more than just battles. They also focus on exploration and discovery. Each new region introduces new Pokemon, items, and locations to explore. From the vast open fields to the hidden caves, the Pokemon world is filled with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. This sense of adventure is a key part of the Pokemon experience, as players are encouraged to explore every corner of the world, uncover secrets, and discover new creatures. The thrill of discovery keeps the games fresh, ensuring that there is always something new to find. Fact 140. In the Pokemon series, many of the most powerful creatures are connected to the elements of nature, from fire and water to the forces of time and space. Pokemon like Dialga and Palkia, who represent time and space, are not only strong in battle, but are also symbolic of the deeper forces that shape the world. These legendary Pokemon serve as powerful representations of natural laws and cosmic balance, making them more than just formidable opponents. They embody the idea that the Pokemon world is influenced by forces beyond the control of any single trainer. Fact 141. Throughout the Pokemon franchise, there are many creatures with rich backstories that delve into the lore of the world. For instance, The legendary Pokemon Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres represent the forces of ice, lightning, and fire, respectively. These powerful beings are tied to the natural elements and have been revered by people for generations. Their stories are filled with symbolism, representing balance and the importance of each element in the world. Encounters with these legendary creatures are often seen as moments of destiny, where the player connects with forces that shape the world itself. Fact 142. The Pokemon franchise often explores themes of friendship, sacrifice, and loyalty. In Pokemon, the first movie, the relationship between Ash and his Pokemon is tested when Ash puts himself in danger to protect them. This moment is a key turning point in the film, showing that the bond between Pokemon and their trainers is unbreakable. The franchise consistently highlights the importance of friendship, teaching viewers and players that the greatest strength lies in the relationships we build with others. This message resonates deeply, making Pokemon not just about battles, but about the power of love and loyalty. Fact 143. The Pokemon games have a rich tradition of introducing new features and mechanics in each generation. For example, Pokemon X and Y introduced Mega Evolutions, which allowed certain Pokemon to temporarily evolve into even stronger forms during battle. This new mechanic added layers of strategy, as players could use Mega Evolutions to turn the tide of battle in their favor. Each new feature introduced in the games helps keep the experience fresh, encouraging players to explore new tactics and deepen their connection with the world and the Pokemon they encounter. Fact 144. One of the unique aspects of the Pokemon world is its emphasis on cooperation between Pokemon and humans. Trainers are not simply command givers, but are partners with their Pokemon. This connection is illustrated through the shared experiences and growth that occur throughout the journey. Pokemon grow stronger not only through battling, but also through developing relationships with their trainers. The bond between Pokemon and trainer is often at the heart of the narrative, reinforcing the message that trust, teamwork, and mutual respect are key to success, both in the Pokemon world and in real life. Fact 145. In the Pokemon world, some Pokemon are known for their ability to change their environment or adapt to their surroundings. Pokemon like Bulbasaur, with its connection to nature, can influence plant life, while others, like Squirtle, represent the healing and soothing properties of water. These Pokemon symbolize the relationship between living creatures and the natural world. They remind us that nature is not just something to observe, but something to interact with, protect, and nurture. In the Pokemon universe, the environment is alive with possibilities, and each Pokemon plays its part in the larger ecosystem. Fact 146. The Pokemon series often incorporates themes of balance and harmony, which are reflected in the relationships between Pokemon. Many Pokemon have complementary abilities, where one creature's strength helps balance another's weakness. For example, grass-type Pokemon often work well with water-type Pokemon, creating a dynamic balance in battles. This idea of balance is mirrored in the Pokemon world's larger themes, where every creature, region, and trainer has a role to play. These themes teach players the importance of harmony in nature and relationships, and how working together creates a stronger, more unified whole. Fact 147. Pokemon often symbolize larger concepts and forces beyond the scope of the individual games. For example, the legendary Pokemon Giratina represents the concept of antimatter and the distortion of space, while Chrysalia is associated with the moon and dreams. These creatures embody cosmic and philosophical themes, adding layers of depth to the Pokemon universe. Encountering these legendary Pokemon is a chance to reflect on the greater mysteries of the world, where power is not just a means of winning battles, but a representation of deeper universal truths that shape the Pokemon world. Fact 148. In the Pokemon universe, the pursuit of knowledge and self improvement is a constant theme. Trainers often meet various professors, each offering wisdom about the Pokemon world and its mysteries. Professors like Oak, Elm, and Kukuis serve as guides, helping players understand the mechanics of capturing, battling, and evolving Pokemon. These mentors encourage players to explore, experiment, and learn more about the creatures they encounter. The emphasis on learning and growing through discovery highlights the importance of curiosity and education, teaching players to embrace the process of learning while they journey through the Pokemon world. Fact 149. The Pokemon franchise has always been centered around the idea of exploration and discovery. Each new region brings with it new Pokemon, new challenges, and new environments to explore. The thrill of discovery is a key part of the adventure, as players uncover hidden areas, meet new characters, and encounter rare Pokemon. This sense of wonder is what keeps the Pokemon world exciting and fresh, encouraging players to keep exploring, whether it's a vast new region or a small quiet corner of the world filled with hidden secrets waiting to be uncovered. Fact 150. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful journey through the world of Pokemon. Each creature, each battle, and each moment of discovery reflects the magic and wonder that has captivated fans for generations. Whether you've spent years collecting and training or you're just beginning your adventure, Pokemon continues to remind us that the journey is as important as the destination. May your dreams tonight be as full of wonder and adventure as the world of Pokemon. Until next time, let the quiet magic of the Pokemon universe fill your thoughts and guide you to rest. Thank you for joining me on this tranquil journey through the enchanting world of Pokemon. As we've explored the vast lore, the mythical creatures, and the lessons embedded within this timeless universe, may your mind be filled with peaceful thoughts and gentle wonder. Like the Pokemon we've discovered, may you find strength in connection, wisdom in discovery, and beauty in the journey ahead. As you drift into sleep, let the bonds of friendship and the excitement of new adventures carry you through the night. Good night, and may your dreams be as magical as the world of Pokemon.